Dreka Gates, who used to manage Kevin, beelined it to court Wednesday and filed for divorce from Kevin after 9 years of marriage. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Dreka lists the date of separation as July 10th, and she's going with the boilerplate irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Kevin and Dreka have 2 minor children, 12-year-old Isla and 11-year-old Kaza, and Dreka is seeking joint legal and physical custody of the kids. Dreka is also seeking spousal support, and she checked the box to terminate the court's ability to award spousal support to Kevin. It's unclear if there is a prenup. Kevin and Dreka got hitched in October 2015, so the divorce filing comes a few months shy of what would have been their 10th wedding anniversary. We reached out to Kevin's camp, and his rep says Kevin is unfortunately declining to speak on the matter at this time. What makes this news particularly striking is not just the celebrity status of the couple, but the layers of history, partnership, and evolution that have marked Kevin and Dreka Gates' journey together. For fans of the Baton Rouge-born rapper, their relationship had long been emblematic of ride-or-die loyalty, a deep, almost spiritual connection that many admired. Dreka was never just a background figure. She was a constant presence, at shows and interviews, even in music videos and lyrics. She was the woman who stood next to Kevin when the world doubted him, when legal troubles piled up, and when his career seemed uncertain. She wasn't just his wife. She was his business partner, his publicist, and often his emotional anchor. To fully grasp the weight of this divorce, one must understand the depth of their bond. Kevin often spoke about Dreka in glowing terms, crediting her for being his peace, his motivation, his everything. His fans grew to know her through his music. Songs like Dreka were direct love letters to her, expressions of admiration and devotion. He didn't shy away from sharing intimate details of their love life, sometimes controversial, always raw. In many ways, Dreka became as much a part of Kevin's brand as his tattoos or his philosophical musings. She was a central figure in his transformation from troubled street artist to a reflective, multidimensional performer who preached loyalty, spirituality, and emotional vulnerability. And yet, even the strongest bonds can fray. The decision to file for divorce is rarely sudden. More often than not, it follows years of conflict, suppressed emotions, misunderstandings, and moments that chip away at the foundation of what was once considered unbreakable. While the public only sees the headlines and court filings, the real story is layered with moments we may never witness. Late-night arguments, unanswered text messages, cold silences over breakfast, and decisions made in the solitude of one's own thoughts. It's also important to acknowledge the toll public life takes on relationships, especially when both partners are so intertwined in the same professional sphere. In many ways, Dreka and Kevin's marriage was under a microscope. Every lyric, every cryptic Instagram post, every unfollowing and refollowing was dissected by fans and media alike. It's exhausting to maintain a personal relationship when the public feels entitled to commentary and analysis over every private moment. Throughout the years, there had been whispers, rumors of infidelity, of emotional distance, of spiritual divergence. Kevin's often controversial takes on love, sexuality, and marriage were part of his brand, but they also led many to speculate about what really went on behind closed doors. He'd speak openly about polyamory, emotional disconnects, and personal evolution, often in interviews that would go viral for all the wrong reasons. Fans began to wonder, was Dreka truly happy? Was this still a union, or had it become a business contract with emotional terms left unread? Dreka, for her part, always maintained an air of grace and mystique. She didn't often address the rumors, choosing instead to focus on her own growth, investing time in spiritual healing, holistic wellness, farming, and even motivational content. Her journey seemed parallel to Kevin's, yet distinct. While he remained deep in the music world, Dreka was building a personal brand that was about mindfulness and self-love. Observers noticed a quiet shift. Less joint appearances. More solo ventures. Separate spiritual paths, perhaps. Their children, Isla and Kaza, have been a crucial part of this story. For all his rough edges, Kevin often displayed a soft, devoted side when it came to fatherhood. He'd rap about his children, post about them, and emphasize the importance of being present in their lives. Dreka, too, centered her world around the children, often speaking about raising them with intention, consciousness, and love. It's no surprise then that in her filing, she requested joint legal and physical custody. Regardless of where the marriage ends, it's clear both parents remain committed to their children's well-being. But now, as the ink dries on the divorce papers, there's a heavy stillness that hangs over everything. The silence from Kevin's side, unfortunately declining to speak, says as much as any statement could. Sometimes silence is louder than words. It speaks of heartbreak, perhaps confusion, maybe even guilt or resignation. It tells us that this isn't just a press cycle for him. It's personal, painful, real. There's also the question of what comes next, for both of them. In the world of hip-hop, breakups often become material for lyrics, cryptic bars, and social media statements. Fans will undoubtedly listen closely to Kevin's next tracks, searching for hints, admissions, or subliminal messages. Will he speak on the divorce through his music? Will Dreka break her silence through a public statement, or perhaps continue to let her actions speak louder than her words? And what does this mean for the legacy they built together? Their marriage wasn't just a union of hearts, it was a merger of brands, a co-creation of something bigger than themselves. Dreka was instrumental in helping Kevin rise from the underground rap scene to become a household name. She wasn't just riding the wave, she was steering the ship. Losing that kind of partner isn't just emotional. Strategic, financial, and deeply personal. It leaves a vacuum. For fans who followed their journey from the very beginning, this moment feels like the closing of a chapter that many hoped would last forever. It's hard to forget the early days when Kevin would speak about Dreka with reverence, praising her for standing by him when he was in prison, when no one believed in him. He'd describe her as his queen, a woman who manifested his success before he even believed in it himself. The kind of loyalty he rapped about wasn't fictional, it was real, lived in, tested. And now it's coming to an end. But endings, painful as they are, often hold the seeds of new beginnings. Divorce isn't always a sign of failure. Sometimes it's a courageous act of self-preservation, choosing peace over performance. Dreka's decision to walk away, publicly, definitively, is likely one she didn't take lightly. She's not just letting go of a man. She's letting go of an entire identity that's been wrapped around being Kevin Gates' wife. And that takes strength. In time, we may see both Kevin and Dreka evolve in ways we never expected. Perhaps this separation will lead them to rediscover parts of themselves that were lost in the chaos of fame, marriage, and expectation. Perhaps it will allow them to become better co-parents, friends, or simply individuals walking their own paths. What's certain is that this divorce marks not just the end of a relationship, but the transformation of two very public, very human lives. And still, the question lingers: when did it all start to fall apart? Was it in the quiet moments when words were left unsaid? In the lonely nights spent in different cities? Was it buried beneath the pressure of constantly being in the public eye, where every move is scrutinized and every crack becomes a headline? Or did they simply outgrow each other, as many do, when personal growth no longer aligns with the path once traveled together? We may never get those answers. Or if we do, they'll come in fragments, through interviews, lyrics, cryptic posts, or maybe even silence. 'Cause not all stories get a clean ending. Some just drift apart, gently but undeniably.